Put my phone on.
Okay, we live, we live.
Hello there, Mr. Tim Neal. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic today.
That's awesome. So, today I want to just touch base with you on your EXP journey.
Hmm.
And for those that don't know, Tim Neal is a top producer. And I just like to know more about your journey and what led you to EXP as a brand new agent. And now, after a decade, is more excited today about the possibilities than when you first started. So, do I have your permission, sir, to just kind of dive in and ask a few questions about that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
So, listen, my first question to you is: I see R&D is on the hat. What does that stand for?
Real deal. On all my taglines is Tim Neal, your real deal realtor. And actually, one of my agent partners, that actually brought me in a business mentor. One of the things he had a couple of, everybody he gave kind of a little nickname to, and mine was Tim Real Deal when I closed a deal. And so he would say it, and then after a while, it started catching on with people in our group. And now most people will call me Real Deal. A lot of people at church and family members, they say, "Hey, Real Deal." They don't even call me Tim anymore. So I said, well, let me get a hat. Let me get some other stuff that says Real Deal. So that's what. Plus, people like to say, what does RD stand for? So
Right, real deal. It starts a conversation, if anything, right?
that's right.
I love that. And it's definitely fitting for sure. So I love how everyone even outside of real estate calls you real deal.
Absolutely.
So did you let me ask you, are you right now are you a solo agent? Are you a team? Tell me a little bit about your real estate platform and where you stand as an agent.
So right now, I'm a solo agent, in a sense that my business is ran. I have it under the Real Deal Team LLC, but also the way our company is structured. Part of EXP Realty was one of the first and only company that I've joined, and the way it's set up is that I've sponsored other people that I brought into the business. Some I trained, some I mentored, some I coached, and some that were even out of state. And because I did sponsor them in the business, they are part of my team per se. Not really sharing in the their daily commission from closing, but also on the thing that we got called revenue share. So they are part of my team, but we are independent agents, and we go out there and do our things. But I get to benefit on really helping to train and mentor other agents in this organization.
Absolutely. So you mentioned something that sticks out to me. You said, um, you know, although your agents that you have are out of state, and the beauty of it with EXP is that you can pretty much, um, work with agents that are out of state, not just on a referral type thing, but also introduce them to the structure. That's one of the things that I loved about EXP. Uh, what made you come over to UXP? What attracted you to that?
Well, actually, it's interesting because this is actually my first real estate company that I've been a part of, and you know what? Unlike a lot of agents that want to be agents, we watch HGTV, maybe go to a couple of seminars. I went to a couple of seminars back in the day about flipping houses, and a lot of those things got attracted to that, and then I learned, what it meant to be a wholesaler. I said, okay, I can do that too. So I went out and kind of on my journey started seeing how I could wholesale. But one thing I learned was that I needed a real estate agent for a lot of the things I was doing, and couldn't find somebody that was solid. So I said, you know what? Let me try to figure this process out and just do it myself. Take out the middleman. So I said, I'm gonna take a real estate course so I can learn a little bit more, and then I can, go into the wholesale and do all this other stuff. But on that journey, at during that time, I was actually running a network group meeting, sort of like a BNI,
Yeah,
a lead share group. And I started my own. I was a part of a BNI Business Network International, but I started my own group, and I used to invite out different people, agents and all type of business professionals. And a good friend of mine that I went to church with, he would come and present um, as a realtor. And I was interested in what he was talking about. And then he made a shift. He says, I'm with this company. Now I'm switching to this company called EXP Realty. He explained a little bit about the background of the company. And I said, tell me more. We had kind of a one-on-one. He shared the business model with me. Now, me, I had a background in business, background in different things, marketing, network marketing, small business, a little, I was the type of serial entrepreneur that tried a little bit of everything, but I understood leverage and I
Yep.
understood residual income. And so that piqued my interest. And even before I got my license, I already was interested in this brokerage. So once I got my license, the first person I went back to was a gentleman that had shared this model with me, Mike Houston and EXP Realty, big time producer, and actually was one of the persons, him and his spouse, actually created the market here in Northern Virginia, and took it by storm, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. And so he shared this model with me again once I got my license, and I said, I'm in. I don't need to look anywhere else. I don't really need to interview anywhere else. And I got plugged in. And so the rest is history.
I love it. You just pretty much embodied everything that I've experienced and a bunch of EXP agents have experienced. And it sounds like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you saw it, you could not unsee it. And that kind of brought you right into being with EXP. So right out the gate, new license, joined in with EXP, have not made a move, made sense so that, you're still with EXP, obviously, which is great. Let me ask you, what type of like coaching or training are you currently receiving? Are you receiving any right now, or no, not exactly? Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, absolutely. Initially, when I got started, of course, EXP was kind of a young company when we got started. And so at the time, things were still being put in place. It's like being on the front end of an Amazon, being on the front end of YouTube or whatever. And so a lot of things were early. We were constantly, because the company was a cloud-based brokerage, but they were putting things in place to keep everything online instead of brick and mortar. So I was excited about that because I like the autonomy of being able to work and plug in the training when I could. So initially I plugged into EXP platform and they had awesome training. And at the time that I plugged in, they were, maybe so many classes per week. But now we have over 80 hours of training. So I constantly go into our cloud office, plug into the training that they have by top trainers around the country. Then we have local training with my team and also some of my business partners. We have we talk 3 times, actually 4 times. We have training. We have a training academy. We have a lot of different classes. We just had our first big event for 2023. We had a Dominate 2023 conference, had about 40 agents there. I mean, it was phenomenal speakers. And we had a tax professional there that was an agent, an attorney there. So it was just a great event, good fellowship, a good culture. And so that's the thing, that's the glue that held us together. The training, coaching, the masterminding, just to get with agents in the market that want to give back, that's not saying, what can you give me, but saying, what can I do for you? How can I help your business move forward? Iron sharpens iron. I tell you what, the
Yes.
culture that we have here is phenomenal. So that's why I've been here for almost a decade, because I said, I looked over the fence to the left, to the right, but guess what? There was nothing there. Right here is where I laid my hat, where I hung my license, and it has more than just hanging up. I mean, that thing is nailed. It ain't going anywhere.
Sound like it's bolted.
Yeah, it's broken down. Yes, I think I might even welded it. Yes, man.
Tim, I absolutely love it. I love your energy. I love your passion about EXP, and what you say about the culture is, could not be much further from the truth. I definitely agree with you that it is a helping culture and not so much of let me help myself, but how can I help you? So I definitely agree with you there. And wrapping it up, I have one question for you. And that one question is, if you could go back in time and tell yourself one thing as that new realtor that you know today, what would it be?
It was a new realtor. First thing I would say is, come to EXP Realty. Don't go anywhere else. Yeah, and that's with all honesty, because I've looked at a lot of different models, and I think even as a brand new agent, like I said, I was a brand new agent, and I had the fear of, well, I'm not even gonna say it was a fear, but really the unknown, because folks told me, hey, you really need to be in the office really to learn real estate and learn what the people around you are doing. But we've seen with COVID, people have joined companies and businesses where they've never been in the office. And guess what? They're still productive. They're still getting promoted. I've yet to step in the office and still been able to have a lucrative real estate career. You know what I'm saying? With not even ever being in a physical office, even though we do have physical office spaces that we can go to that our company provides for us, but to really have to be there, I mean, it was just freeing for me to know that I could be in an environment like that. So entrepreneurial minded, this was the right place to be. So my advice to those new agents out there, if you're looking at different models and you look at EXP, there's so much to offer, not only just upfront with the training and mentoring and masterminding and coaching, but they have revenue share, which allows you to be able to still be able to build a retirement. You'll be able to do real estate and look at the light at the end of the tunnel. They have stock. Being an agent owner, most companies out here are franchise, but to be able to be an owner within a company, huge. And then also healthcare. A lot of times people didn't want to leave their job because of this, because they didn't have those benefits. But now you can really be a true entrepreneur. So that's why I say EXP Realty is definitely the way to go. I take my hat off to it. Okay, put it back on. I don't want to blind you with it. With my new haircut. Absolutely. But I'm just excited. I'm flat out excited.
Absolutely. Listen, Tim, I feel the excitement and I absolutely love it. You know, everything that you said is just been spot on. I can't express that enough. I want to thank you for taking the time out and sharing this with us. And there you heard it, Tim Neal, top producing agent out of Virginia, who not only has agents in his state, but also outside of other states. So if he did it and a bunch of us did it, you can too. So Tim Neal, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your energy with us and EXP.
You too, Daniel. Hey, it's been a pleasure. Hey, thank you for taking the time to reach out and just hear a little bit about my story because I just think it makes a difference. We all come into this industry and all of us have a different journey where we get to, but sometimes it's good to hear the backstory. And I appreciate you for sitting down and taking the time to do that for me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tim.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right, we'll do.